Hi everybody and welcome to my YouTube channel. If you guys are new and returning, my name is Angie. I'm a psychic medium who's a part of the Twin Flame Soulmate Collective. For today's reading, we're actually going to be coming forward with a very special topic. So this is a rare message from your chiron in regards to your love life. So we're going to be finding out in terms of what the blockages might be, how you can overcome some of these challenges, what's currently playing out for you at this time, and how can you kind of shift more into a better vibration. So some considerations that you might have for this reading is what lesson might I be learning from this experience through this time of change. So the energy very much of the moment has been centered around a lot of heavy energies and changes for the collective. So a lot of different things I feel like has been happening for a lot of people. I've had people reach out to me, which is quite looking for advice, recommendations in regards to what they could do to help their situation and whatnot as well. So if you stumbled across this is not a coincidence. It's a very special message for you in terms of helping you overcome some of these challenges at this time and how you can kind of work with this energy, sit with this energy to kind of help you adapt your situation and possibly release old patterns from the past. So without further ado, we have 3 piles for you to choose from. We have pile number 1, which is this one here. We have pile number 2. And lastly, we have pile number 3. So do your thing, guys. Pick your pile. And remember, guys, your first mind is often your best mind. And I will see you guys in your reading. Hey my viewers in pile number 1. So I thank you guys so much for checking out my YouTube channel. If you guys are new returning, my name is Angie. I'm a psychic medium who resonates with the Twin Flame Soulmate Collective. So for today's reading, we're actually going to be diving in regards to what is currently playing out in regards to your love life. So this is all about your chiron, which is all about your biggest lessons, but also your ability to be able to learn from these experiences to manifest new beginnings and changes for yourself. So I was guided to do this reading, which is why I'm coming forward to deliver this reading for you today. And so hopefully it can provide you with some clarity on your situation as you step into a new chapter. So let us pull the cards and see what wants to come forward as well. So we have 1111, so definitely an awakening for you guys, big time. This could even be in regards to a twin flame soulmate relationship. For a lot of you guys, you might be seeing 1111 everywhere, which is signifying some sort of spiritual awakening, as that is generally what the 1111 is all about. It's a sign, a synchronicity about a spiritual awakening of some sort, or a needing to harmonize your life in some way. Bring balance to your life, bring balance to your situation. And also it's a card of manifesting new beginnings and opportunities as well, right? The twin flame journey is something that allows you to bring harmony and balance to your life and your situation, because the person that you're attracted to, I'm not saying that you're with a twin, but I'm saying that from the energy I'm channeling, it is an opportunity to have a fresh start at life or to see things in a different perspective. It's also a signifying a new journey, a new chapter of your life and your evolutionary process too as well. So let's pull the other cards and then I will start talking. And this is your advice for the end, so I'll save that here, and then we'll read that at the very end for you in regards to your read. Okay, so let's see the message that I'm picking up on. Let me just move this so it can be a bit more in frame. You zoom out a bit. All right, perfect. So already for this situation, I'm picking up on intuitively that your Chiron is trying to indicate that there's an opportunity to have some sort of fresh start and a new beginning. It also feels like some sort of breakthrough. So maybe you've been in a period of stagnation in regards to your love life. You're not really sure what direction to take. I'm hearing for some of you guys, you might be considering, putting off your life, waiting for the right person to come in or the right situation to manifest. It also is giving an energy of going through some sort of psychic development or some sort of psychic awareness or a psychic new beginning. I feel for some of you guys who are watching this reading, you might have been considering investing in some sort of property, or maybe you have a home set up with some sort of love interest. And so you're kind of wondering in regards to if that is the best approach for yourself at this point in time. So what I feel from this is that there's an opportunity for this, but it feels like you're needing to release a lot of this waiting energy or stagnation energy, where it's about taking action for yourself. Uranus is all about Aquarius energy. Aquarius is a rebel. They go against the grain. They're also people that are able to step outside of their comfort zone. They seek freedom, right? They don't rely or wait on people to make choices. They kind of look to their own, approach in order to seek what is in the best interest for themselves too as well. They are humanitarians and they do work with people, but they are the leader, right? They are the people that go against the grain, right? And so to step into this energy of leadership in regards to your love life means that you may have to go against some sort of tradition or ideology that you've held for a very long time. This is all about releasing a lot of maybe advice or recommendations you were given by family members, friends, people who don't really necessarily understand your situation. Maybe they've told you that, you're better off kind of just holding out on your dreams, wait for the right person to come. But I feel that this is something that needs to change in regards to your frameworks or in regards to the way that you have been thinking about yourself. It also feels like as well that some of you guys may be thinking that by holding out, you might be missing a mark or missing an opportunity. But it feels like it's very contradictory in regards to what you're supposed to be doing at this time. So I feel that you might be someone who might be on the twin flame soulmate journey. Hello collective, because you guys are actually a part of probably my soul family. But it feels like you might be holding out on opportunities because you're thinking that you need your person or you need some sort of counterpart in order to make shit happen. So Spirit is saying that you got to release that and recognize that you are strong enough to be in the energy of leadership on your own. And so if your person and you are meant to be together in the future, I feel that this person will catch up if it's something that is meant to be. For some of you guys, I see that you may end up manifesting, let's say, a soulmate and then moving into the direction with that soulmate too as well. I also see here that there's an opportunity to have some sort of home setup. So if you've been considering having children or if you want to have some sort of family dynamic, there's an opportunity here for that. But it all depends on you in terms of, the karma that you work through in this process. But I feel that for a lot of the viewers in this situation, it could be a family that's a major blockage in regards to a theme that resonates with your Chiron. So you might have some placements in Cancer in regards to, or even Capricorn, because Capricorn is all about work-life balance. Cancer is all about family. So there might be heavy Cancer placements, or you might have a Cancer placement in your Chiron, which is what it may be skewing your ability to, move out of this kind of stagnant energy. Because sometimes with Cancer, we go based upon our feelings. So if we feel deeply for someone, it can be challenging for us to, make decisions. I know because I'm a Cancer sun and moon, right? So with that being said, it's like we're giving your power away to someone or a situation when this person may not be in a position to actually show up the way that you had intended, or the way that you would like them to show up. This is an energy of needing to transform your life or transform yourself as well. Right? And I feel like this is supposed to be a journey or an awakening to take on new adventures or new projects. So this could be signify time period that's great for you going back to school or manifesting some sort of changes in the material world, which will then impact your ability to manifest, let's say, a home or a family situation or something along those lines. Like, it will bring better opportunities. But I feel like you guys are rejecting that, and you're resisting that ability to just be more in the energy of the here and now. This is coming in like a needing to change the direction that you've been going down, or the idea that you've had about your situation for a while. Because sometimes too with Cancer, when we feel deeply for someone or a situation, it's very difficult for us to break out of that shell or break out of that, because we're so fixated on wanting to have this happily ever after, which it is possible for this. I'm not saying that you can't have that happily ever after, but it requires some work, right? Sometimes Cancers can be very daydreamy, right? Or even Piscean energy, where Pisces is very, they have big dreams and big aspirations, but then sometimes they can be a bit timid or shy to actually go out there and take action. Or even Virgo may resonate too as well. Like, you might have a Chiron in Virgo. That might also resonate too as well, because sometimes with Virgo, they overanalyze situations. And so this can hinder their ability to be able to make a choice or make a decision, right? Because sometimes they're overcritical about themselves, and they're overcritical about, you know, what people may think, or they want things to be precise, right? But there's never a precise way of doing something. It's all about just doing. And even if it's not the right approach, you will kind of be able to pick up the pieces later as time goes on. Or in the moment, it might be something where you might feel like, am I really doing what is necessary for myself? But ultimately, doing nothing is not helping your situation either. So this is all about releasing, and also being able to let go a lot of this fear, and let go a lot of this ego-based energy, right? Ego is really the plan, right, that the mind has set up. So it leads to a lot of hatred, where there might be a lot of anger or built up resentments that you may have even towards your counterpart. You know, like, if they were only here, or if things were different between us, then we would have been able to have this happily ever after, or this future, or this abundance or opportunity or whatnot. But I feel like that's hindering your knowledge, your growth, right? Because to grow means that you acquire knowledge, you're able to acquire skills. You're able to learn from your past. You're also able to make choices without feeling that sense of shame, or that sense of not being good enough, or that sense of, you know, I made a mistake. In life, there are no mistakes. It's only lessons and opportunities, is how I see situations too. I feel like this is an opportunity for you to also step into something unexpected. So I feel like if you've been having a lot of unexpected thoughts lately in regards to starting a project or doing something else or taking a new direction, I feel that this is a sign from the universe that it's time for you to actually manifest this and take action towards that idea or that plan. Because I feel like it's ultimately going to lead to you maybe getting some sort of additional epiphany or an awakening or realization further of what is necessary, what is required, right? Because the 1111 is all about an awakening, right? That's the whole point of the twin flame soulmate journey. Your twin awakens you, but the awakening doesn't stop with them. It allows you to continue going through many alchemical death and rebirth processes. You might even have some placements in the 8th house, which is all about death, rebirth, new beginnings. You might be someone who may have had a lot of new beginnings in your lifetime too as well. That may also resonate very strongly too as well. You could have, let's say, Leo in the 8th house, right? Leo is all about leadership. So, and you know, they love having attention. They love, you know, taking action. Leo also, you know, they don't really have a lot of fear. They just operate in the moment, you know, how they feel, something that they feel passionate about. They just kind of go with the flow. They do that. So I feel like even if you don't have that in your placement, it's giving that energy of needing to step into that so that you're able to manifest something different for your reality. It's also giving Scorpio vibes too as well, where, you know, Scorpio is all about death, rebirth, right? Because Scorpio, I believe, also governs the 8th house. This is also giving an energy of needing to be resourceful too, right? So being resourceful in regards to how you can create something different for your reality is the messaging I'm feeling very strongly from this too as well. I feel like a lot of you guys may have been holding out thinking that it's not the right time because we have divine timing in reverse. But I feel like Spirit has been indicating to you that no, it's actually the right time to take action. And you need to actually push yourself in order to create something different. So I'm hearing a lot of you guys saying, how can I create something different? Well, you got to look at your circumstances and recognize that whatever it is that you've been building, you got to undo that. It could be an ideology, it could be a career that you've been investing in, whatever it is that your ego has led you to this point. It's about undoing that so that you can actually have a death and rebirth in regards to your love life and your relationship. Because I feel like once this is in balance, this will ultimately heal that issue or that complexity that you have in regards to love. But I feel like your person might not even be able to even commit right now either, because there might be some distance. And even if you guys live in the same city or state, it could just be physically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually, your person is not available right now to be able to commit to anything because they're caught up with their own life and their own situation too as well. It's like, I feel like this person is not necessarily focusing so heavily on the connection. And if your twin has come back, I feel like it was a trigger for you to be able to understand what your person is mirroring to you. So you got to look for the themes. Like, people are like, oh, my person's back. And that's great, right? When they come back, you're like, okay, cool, they're back. But the purpose of them coming back is ultimately also to trigger you to create some sort of awakening as well. Right? For you to get the clues or to see the dots that this person is leaving, it's kind of like they leave us indications of where we currently are in terms of our twin flame soulmate journey too as well. You know, their presence actually is, so if you see them online, you encounter them, you meet up with them, whatever your storyline is, that person is really showing to you the parts of yourself that you still need to heal. That's why you're in separation. That's why, you know, you're not in union with your person, right? There's a reason for that. But if you're noticing that every time this person comes back, it's like things are not improving, things are getting worse, well, there's something that you're doing that's not resonating, which is not allowing the energy to change. So it's like a redo of lessons over and over again. You know, and so until you get the message or until you get the point, it's going to be the same outcome because you haven't healed. Because a part of the chiron energy too as well is it helps you heal, right? It's the healer who can heal other people too as well. So your experience is meant to also shine a light for other people so that you can help them heal too. Right? So sometimes too as well, like let's say, for example, you have, let's say, I don't know, we'll just put this out here, Capricorn in the first house. Well, we know that the first house governs the self. We also know that Capricornian energy is all about work and, you know, the material world, right? They seek money, they seek opportunities, they seek status and power, right? So if you have Capricorn in the first house, you might have some challenges in regards to the material world and working environments. And so the idea of that is that you're meant to manifest a new beginning for yourself in regards to your career, right? By choosing yourself or following your passions and actually taking on that Aries type of energy, which is all about courageousness, right? Free will, you know, Aries is also very headstrong. So, and also assertive, like how can you become more assertive to be able to bring balance to your situation, right? So this is actually going after your passions, your dreams, and that could be related to the material world. So if your end game is you want to be able to have, let's say, a home or a family situation, well, how can you stop being pessimistic, or how can you actually stop, you know, relying on other people to do it for you and actually take action and do it for yourself, right? Because people don't necessarily have to do anything, right? We have no control over what people do, and that's also a challenge that Capricorn has as well. They seek to control, right? And control is really fear in disguise. So if you no longer want to be in this energy of control, then how can you seek to make changes? because we can't control what people do, but we can control what we do. Right? So with this Uranus energy, this is the energy of Aquarius. Right? So Aquarius knows. Right? We know. So, you know, they know how, you know, to figure out certain circumstances. They know how to create changes. They think outside of the box. Right? They are the ones who create unexpected change just by being. So how can you create more unexpected change in your situation? By actually manifesting different for yourself, and not just relying on divine timing to help you, but you actually taking the first steps to help yourself. And I feel like for a lot of you guys, maybe you're looking at this too as well through more of a logical perspective, and that's why it's not making sense, or you're not able to see the bigger picture. But Spirit is saying you got to release that and you got to let that go. Because I feel like sometimes when things don't make sense, they make the most sense. When you sit down actually and you stop, over analyzing it or looking at it through more of a logical perspective, listen to it from a heart-based perspective, right? Which is why I talked about the Cancerian energy. You're able to understand what you could not see before. So when we stop panicking, we stop freaking out, we're actually able to see the bigger picture about our situation. But I feel that there's an energy here to also recover this with the Four of Cups reverse. But it's all about going within. And I'm noticing the background as well in this card. This person is meditating. They're going inwards. And they're getting in touch with their feelings, emotions, their higher self. And they're looking to that inner guidance or that divine inspiration to help them overcome their challenges as well. And I'm also noticing insight. It's like when you're finally still in the moment, I feel like you're going to be able to get that insight and fully go through your awakening, which is releasing a part of your ego. So let's get your last piece of advice and see how this resonates with your read. So we have the Secret Garden. So let's read from the Secret Garden. Also, I'm hearing for this collective who are watching this that sometimes it's great to get advice from people, but don't let that be your ultimate end game in regards to how you live your life. Because I feel like people don't necessarily understand people's situation. They kind of just project their own interpersonal challenges on you. So maybe there's a part of their wounding, could be, for example, where maybe, let's say, they had a bad experience in regards to, let's say, waiting for someone that they had believed to be a counterpart, for example. And then it didn't work out, or they went through some sort of, tower moment, or some sort of issue happened. I feel sometimes people can really project a lot of their own baggage on you because they still have not processed that, or they have not healed that, right? Because the advice that people give you is based upon where they're at in terms of their healing journey, right? So if they haven't worked through their own challenges or their own complexities, they can't really advise you well, because what are they advising you on? They haven't experienced it, so they don't know. Or they can't relate to your situation properly because they're looking through it through still the eyes of ego, which might be anger, hatred, whatever, right? Because they still have not mastered their lesson as well. So very strongly for this pile, I feel like you guys really have to trust your own intuition and trust your guidance, right? Readings also are just meant to be a template. They're an idea, a suggestion. That's my gift from my higher self to you for watching this reading, in regards to how you might be able to shift your energy in the moment. Because energy is always fluid. It's always changing. And I heard somebody say, well, what if he comes in tomorrow? He's not coming in tomorrow, because if you're still in the stuck energy, that's not going to manifest a new beginning. The opportunity is here with the 1111, which is an awakening. So you might, have that chance to meet up with them again. But you got to be looking at their life or looking at their situation as what they're really mirroring to you in regards to the parts of yourself that's still not healed. Because there's a reason why you're not in union, right? And there's a reason why that's not, progressing the way that you want it to progress. And it could even be a situation where maybe this is a karmic soulmate and you're meant to kind of master that lesson and release them so that they can do their own healing too as well. I'm also guided to say that you guys may also have some people pop up from the past, and I feel this might be a test as well from spirit to you in regards to how you can overcome those challenges. Or you might have an opportunity to, you know, do another contract, but it might not feel right in regards to your gut. So this could be in regards to work or something along those lines, or even a housing deal, right? You may get an opportunity where you think, okay, I'm going to, you know, try to acquire some property or something. I feel like you guys have to look over the contract and ensure that whatever it is that you're manifesting resonates with what you're trying to build in the long run, and not just base it on materialism with the 9 of materials, right? The 9 of Pentacles. You got to look beyond that, and you got to actually heal that so that you can manifest some changes in your life. So the Secret Garden, safety and protection. Your sacred garden is a place of shamanic journeying. It symbolizes a safe place for which you can create a vision of your intentions and gain a better understanding for your life experience. Ask for guidance and you will probably meet a spirit guide. Change something in your garden and something will change in your life. Some sacred gardens are public, others are quite secret. You are invited to enter your secret garden through the water. Feel safety, peace, and serenity as you swim in the spirals and float at the water's edge. A geometric vortex lies in the center, activating the vitality of this card. Climb out of the pool and relax with this beautiful jaguar. He will protect you and guide you to your own truth. In this safe place, you can even cuddle up with Jaguar, empowering yourself and facilitating soul work. The message of this card is a safety and protection. You may be looking for assurance that the decision you're about to make is in your best interest. You might also be asking for a friend. This card represents a protected place where you may more easily connect with your higher self and tune into the wisdom and integrity that dwells within. In the secret garden, you feel safe and protected by this powerful guide. You need not let doubt and fear cloud your judgment and decision. You may be assured that you are calmly intended a positive result and envision the outcome has already complete. You are setting into motion the answers to your inquiry. Right? So this is exactly what I talked about. I feel for this pile, there's some sort of decision that has to be made. And maybe, as I said, you were relying on family or relying on people to kind of guide you in regards to the choices or decisions that you need to make in regards to love, relationships, and whatnot. But I feel like the time isn't to just make haste and make a decision out of, you know, feeling like I have to make this choice now. It could even be a situation where maybe there's a contract for you to renew a housing situation with someone else. And you're thinking, okay, a mortgage is due for renewal, or a lease, or, you know, some rental property. Who knows, right? That may even resonate for some of you guys watching this. But ideally, the concept here is that you don't make a rash decision. You trust your intuition in regards to if this actually makes sense, instead of restarting something or stepping into something that might not necessarily resonate with your highest good or what you feel to be right. So this is all about learning the lessons from the past and implementing changes for the future, right? Needing to meditate and not feel that time is running out, because time is infinite. You know, how can this serve you in the long run, or what goal are you looking to achieve from having this or acquiring this too as well, with the 9 of Pentacles reverse? It's like, what are you looking to obtain, right? So this material possession or this situation, if it's in regards to love, what are you looking to obtain as an outcome here? And why do you feel that this is necessary? Is the questions that you really have to ask yourself. So that's the message I have for you guys. If it resonates, comment down below. And as always, love and light, guys. And don't forget to subscribe. Take care. Hi, my wonderful pal number 2s. I thank you guys so much for joining. If you guys are new and returning, my name is Angie. I'm a psychic medium who resonates with the Twin Flame Soulmate Collective. So for today's reading, we're actually going to be diving in regards to what your chiron is trying to inform you about your current love life and your situation, and how can you kind of shift the energy of the moment in regards to being able to make a decision that can better help you on your path or your journey at this time. So there is some sort of new perspective I'm already hearing intuitively for you that's coming online. This is some sort of rethinking an approach or rethinking a desire of something. I think this might be very stressful for you as well, because maybe you're feeling like you need to move on from something, but then you're kind of like feeling undecisive about what choice or decision you should take. But this is a time of listening to your inner voice in regards to how you can make changes and create some sort of new beginning for yourself. So let's pull some cards. So that's what I'm already picking up intuitively, but let's pull some cards. So we'll save this card here for the last, as this will be the advice for your read. Let's get the rest of the cards. I think you guys got the least amount of cards out of everyone. So, if I am not mistaken. Okay, so you guys are the pile that's doing some shadow work currently, or you're processing shadow work, or you've recently come out of a period of you healing some sort of issue that you had long-standing. So with this runaway, I feel like there is a lot of runner energy that might have been present in your life. So maybe this was a situation where you felt very restricted in regards to your opportunities, or, you know, the way that you wanted your love life to go, or how you wanted to show up in the world. But I feel like this is capturing the past, because there was a lesson that I feel like your soul was meant to learn from this experience, but it's really helped you with becoming somebody different now, or you're hoping that you've learned this lesson so that you can become something or someone different in the future, which is present time. So there was a need here to also release control. Maybe you had an idea, or you had some sort of concept that you wanted to portray in regards to, you know, your love life, your relationships, how you wanted to show up in regards to, you know, your status. It feels like, for example, you guys are probably the planner pile, where you might have, let's say, had an idea like, okay, by the time I'm 30, I want to be married. I want to have 2 kids. I want to be able to have this great career. I want to work in management. I want to be able to, you know, portray some sort of image to the world. But I feel that something about the full moon in Cancer, or some sort of full moon that happened, allowed you to come to some sort of resolution about a personal problem that you had. So it's like your idea, or what you perceived that you wanted for your life, you finally had come to some sort of place of acceptance of what is. So if you are, let's say, single, this is an acceptance of, okay, I'm single, but I'm not necessarily going to keep forcing myself to find a partner or find someone that doesn't resonate with what I want in terms of my life. Or so what if my friends or family members are getting married, or people are pressuring me to, you know, do things a specific way. I feel that I want to do things my way, and I'm not going to be pressured to make a choice or decision based upon what people want. I'm going to choose something that's more stable for what I feel resonates with me. This is like an energy of taking your power back, and also being able to release a lot of anger or frustration that you might have had for a long time about how your life kind of like went, or, you know, not having the things that you wanted. Finally allowing yourself to recognize that, you know, it's all about you feeling comfortable where you're currently at. Like, I feel like this is an energy of finally being comfortable with yourself, and finally being comfortable and at peace with your life. So maybe you guys had also met someone too. This could be an energy of maybe you met someone, and maybe that person might have differed from your ideology or opinion that you also had to as well. So your Chiron was really showing you that your love life is something that might be a bit more taboo, or people might look at it in the terms of society's standards as something that might be outside of the box or non-conventional in some sort of way. It's interesting because the viewers in pile number 1 was needing to step outside of their comfort zone, but I feel like you guys have already done that, and maybe you had received a lot of backlash about your choices or decisions. This could even have been some sort of soulmate that entered your life based upon a lot of the healing work that you had done yourself, and maybe you just felt that you weren't ready to receive that individual, And so for a long time, I feel like you might have been projecting a lot of your fears and insecurities as well on this individual, because I feel that you might have prayed for something, but you didn't actually expect that this would have been delivered the way that it was delivered. For some of you guys watching this too as well. It's either you're single and you've kind of released the idea of needing to have a partnership of some sort, or you have a partner and now you're kind of like valuing or appreciating your partner even more. Because maybe this person, like in the eyes of your expectations, you know, maybe you were looking for someone that would have been making a lot of money or would have been doing something. Could have been like, you know, someone who, let's say, didn't have kids before in the past, or would have had a similar career to you. There's something along those lines where maybe you had some sort of idea of what you really wanted, but it didn't happen exactly the way that you had planned it. Like, this is giving like a planner vibe, where it's giving very much like, how can I say this? So you're probably like someone who could be a Virgo. You could also be a Taurus as well too, because Taurus is all about, you know, possessions or how they perceive, how society sees them too as well. And those kind of things too. But I feel like it could even be an Aries, because maybe you know, you're thinking about a lot of, you know, how you are perceived in the world. Or even a Leo too as well. You might have those placements in your Chiron also. That may resonate. Because I feel like those signs, or it could even just be a fixed sign, like you have some sort of fixed placement in your Chiron. So you could have Leo, Scorpio, Aquarius, or Taurus, right? Very fixed energy where you had this very strong idea about something and it didn't happen that way. Let's pull a card on this passion, please. But you've now gained an acceptance of it. We have the Four of Cups reversed, and that came out in pile number 1. So maybe you were drawn to that pile too as well. There might be additional messages in there for you to also see too. So I feel like with this Four of Cups reversed, like it's speaking to some sort of an acceptance and an awareness of where things currently are, and needing to just be kind of like mindful of being in the moment and not putting so much pressure on yourself. But it feels like a lot of you guys may have released a lot of pressure of like finding the one or being in some sort of entanglement with someone where you feel like things had to go a specific way. It's like an energy of releasing that control, which is all about ego, is what I'm feeling like you guys are very much working on in terms of healing your Chiron at this time. It's like this pile, I feel like, has done a lot of healing work in regards to seeing the bigger picture of their situation, but also being grateful and just being in the moment. This is giving a card of moment to moment, where you're not putting pressure on yourself. You're more focused on just being in the here and now. This is like a card of, or a feeling of releasing a lot of those expectations and a lot of the norms of what people think should be for them, instead of just being in the moment and just being grateful for what they have. This is an energy of gratitude I'm feeling very strongly from this pile. With the Two of Pentacles here, I feel like you guys have been really working on balancing your priorities in regards to love and relationships. It's like seeing things in a different regard. You know, mastering oneself and also elevating spiritually to the next level is what I'm feeling from this. This is bringing a lot of balance to your life by you recognizing that you have to accept or work with the things you cannot change. And I feel for a while you might have been like in a cycle of feeling disconnected from yourself or lost, or thinking, you know, am I really progressing on the right way? But I feel like you probably got some sort of support, because it's feeling like very much like a support of some sort of love interest, or someone kind of coming in and kind of supporting you through your feelings of disconnection or not really sure what to do. That's the energy that I'm feeling very strongly from this. It's like finally finding that light at the end of the tunnel and making a choice that's able to help you bring balance to your life and your situation. And I feel like you've learned some sort of lesson about your dark story, right? Everyone's dark story is different. So these are based, your dark story is essentially the ideas that you tell yourself in regards to love, relationship, situations. They want me to actually read some of the book in regards to what are some things you might have told yourself in the past that you're finally learning to let go of. So 13, which is all about death, right? This is Scorpio energy, which is all about death, rebirth, releasing the past. So some things you might have told yourself, or you had to work through in order to release this, or you're going to be working through, is how does having a dark story conspiracy serve you? What are you trying to make of it? So let's actually read from the beginning. They want me to read from the beginning, so it makes more sense to somebody saying like, I need to know from the beginning. All right. In the dark story conspiracy, we are writing a script for ourselves that can only lead to unhappiness and pain. We have listened to the ego's guidance and have been following a grim path that only death end in death. The dark story conspiracy sets us up for a very deep soul level pattern. Whatever painful story we are writing, we are doing it chapter by chapter for some mistaken purpose and can't ever make us happy. Dark stories are conspiracies bringing together two conscious patterns that rely on remaining hidden for their existence. The terrible circumstances we have in our lives are a result of our ego's distinctions. Jesus once said, "By the fruits you will know them." On that basis, we should be obvious that we are going in the wrong direction. The dark story conspiracy constructs the gifts and creates fulfillment that comes from living our purpose. If we set out to consciously set up an seemingly possible situation, we would do little better than miscreation that is the dark story conspiracy. If you receive this card today, it is time to change your direction, not only for your sake, but also for the sake of those you love. You are the author of the trap, and you're keeping yourself stuck in misery. One way to discover the dark story conspiracy is writing for yourself. If you draw this card and other conspiracy cards, ask yourself to follow the questions. So the questions are, how does having a dark conspiracy serve you? What are you trying to take up by having it? What does it allow you to do? What is that you don't have to do as a result of having it? What need are you trying to get met? Are you giving revenge on? Are you getting revenge on it? What indulgence are you trying to hold on to by having this? What are you trying to prove by it? Who are you trying to defeat by having it? Are you being right about having this conspiracy? What guilt are you trying to pay off? Does this dark conspiracy come from a soul story you brought into this lifetime? Or is it an ancestral issue? Who are you trying to control by having this? Are you holding on to by having this? What lesson does your soul want you to learn from this? What gifts are being blocked by this dark conspiracy? What part of your purpose are you so afraid that you have chosen to use this dark conspiracy to hide it? So I feel for a lot of you guys, I heard the message very strongly. It's like you were holding out on manifesting some sort of love or feeling like some sort of unexpected love or passion from someone. Like maybe you told yourself that you wouldn't fall in love again or love wouldn't be possible for you. And I feel like God or spirit or source, whatever it is you believe in, maybe manifested or allowed you to have your dreams, what you really want on a heart and soul level. But it's like, I feel like your ego was very close to allowing you to possibly ruin this opportunity for yourself because you didn't want to change or you were afraid of change. I feel like in the past, maybe you didn't have a level of accountability, right? So when we are able to master control and accountability, it improves our life, right? So this is about accepting what is, but also allowing yourself to be in the moment, right? To embrace this opportunity that's here. And I feel like nobody's perfect and people make mistakes, but it's about learning from the past in regards to making something different for yourself. So, and we have it here, right? Learning. You know, working through your thoughts. I feel like this is also allowing you an opportunity to work on your perspective. Right? How you communicate or the messaging that you send out, whether that's verbal, nonverbal, you know, body language, these things matter. Because sometimes I feel like too as well, our soulmate or our partner that we seek sometimes differs from what we intended God had designed for us. But on a soul level, I feel like it's a harmonious connection that you might have now entered into that's bringing you a lot of balance in your life and a lot more stability for yourself and for your future too. So maybe you met this person as well at a time in your life where you felt very lost, or you didn't have a direction, or you didn't know what you were supposed to be doing. And this person came in to your life to help you feel more love and more passionate about, you know, someone that actually cares about your well-being and wants what's best for you as well. You know, someone that, you know, truly wants to, you know, manifest the better for you guys. You could be also dealing with a Gemini or Virgo, because we have here communication may resonate, which is governed by Mercury, which is Gemini and Virgo's ruling planet. So there's an energy here of an awareness, I feel very strongly for this pile, where you guys are now aware of how your dark story, whatever your dark story is, could have potentially ruined an opportunity for you to be in something more stable. Because the Two of Pentacles talks about juggling your priorities, but it also speaks to some level of stability, right? Because if it was reversed, this would be like you've lost control of a situation. So I feel like you're finally starting to get your love life or your situation under control, and you've mastered some sort of powerful spiritual lesson too about yourself. Yeah, you've gotten the insight. You've gotten, and we have Virgo, which is the Hermit. So again, very strongly Virgo and Gemini coming forward in this reading. So you might have those placements in your Chiron as too as well, very strongly. But it's like you've mastered this. Or you might have a third house placement in your Chiron too, which is all about communication, how you show up, you know, how you portray yourself, and how you express your feelings, thoughts, words, you know, how you analyze things, or how sometimes you might overanalyze something and sometimes it might not always be right. But I feel like you're learning how to ask questions, and you're learning how to work through your insecurities and challenges of the past. I'm also hearing too as well that maybe in the past you guys had some issues in terms of infidelity in your relationship. And I feel like this connection that you're manifested or you're about to manifest doesn't come with that level of drama. But I feel like because you might have gone through a lot of wounding in this, you just automatically assume that it happened already, so why wouldn't it happen again? It's like that story keeps playing in your mind, and I feel like the more that you kind of like live in your thoughts about that, you might just manifest exactly that if you don't get that under control or you don't release that. And recognize that no two persons are the same, or people are not going to be operating in the same way. Or maybe you were someone that was married in the past but then got divorced. So you might just assume that, you know, this might not work. Maybe there's an age difference. It could be like a long distance relationship. Something here might not be what you had ideally had perceived it to be, but it comes with an opportunity to create something new for yourself. Yeah, this is a valuable connection. Like, this person is valuable. I feel like they're not flighty. They're someone who actually wants to create new beginnings and actually cares about your well-being. And they see you as this too. They see you as someone who's very valuable. They see you as a high-quality partner, and they see that this has the potential for possibly marriage. Because I'm noticing jewelry here, which is speaking to me of marriage. It's like this is an opportunity for you to, you know, really accept this gift that the universe has given you. Like, after everything you've gone through, you now have something that's more better for your life and for you as a person. It matches more of what you've been looking for, what you've been seeking all this time. But I feel like the lesson here that you're meant to learn is about accepting and receiving. Because maybe you're always used to being in situations or love relationships where you're always on edge and you're always thinking about your next move, or, you know, is this person going to screw me over? But I feel like in this situation, it's not about that. I feel like this person is coming to you with a very clean heart. Like, it feels like a very clean energy, like a very clean heart. You know, and they're here. I feel like this person, you know, their life purpose was really around helping you with being able to find your way through something that might have been feeling very dark. They're a light worker, you know, they're able to help you find that light in the darkness. And so are you too. I feel like you guys are helping both of each other heal, which is helping to raise this person's consciousness, yourself as well, and helping to raise the vibration of the collective. This is giving like a power couple type of vibe is what I'm feeling from this. This is like an opportunity to be able to manifest your dreams or manifest your desires, or help this person to manifest their dreams and desires as well. It's like a collaborative process. But I feel like you finally mastered releasing that control. So maybe you were trying to control this person or control the way that this connection was playing out. Maybe you had been trying to not get too attached in fear that this person would hurt you. But I feel like this is something that you've currently mastered. Or maybe you're used to, when things are going well in connections, you want to end the connection because you have a lot of fears and insecurities that, you know, this person might hurt me, or they might abandon me, or they might disown me, or whatever the issue is, right? Like, I feel like this is like a deep core wounding that you've had for a very long time. Like running away from, when things get tough, you're like, you know what, screw it, I'm out. I can't really take this on. That might have been the approach that you might have had for a very long time. But I feel like you guys are learning how to let that go. And I feel like this connection is meant to be. You know, you guys were meant to be. It was something both of your souls had signed up for in this reincarnation, in this lifetime. Let's see more about this runaway. Yeah, the Four of Swords, right? This is about resting and retreating, right? So maybe you've contemplated on leaving in the past, or you wanted to release it, as I said, but it's like every time you may think about that, you kind of think about, well, why am I feeling like this? And maybe you feel foolish when you look on the situation, right? Because I feel like, again, maybe this could have been what you've wished for, but you're still not really sure if it is actually what it really is said to be, if it's actually going to be just that. With the Ten of Cups here reverse. Maybe there was a lot of like issues that you've had in the past in regards to family or a dispute or some sort of problem, you know? So maybe you had a very rough childhood, or you've had a relationship in the past that has failed. And so you've kind of projected a lot of this issue on this person, as we talked about, right? Based on your own wounding from the past. But I think you've kind of looked at your patterns, and you've looked at, it could even be ancestral karma too, where maybe your parents had a failed relationship because maybe there was a lot of difficulty, or, you know, people weren't being honest or shifty or whatever. And so you just kind of grew up always thinking that, you know, masculine or feminine energy, this is how they behave. And I got to always keep one eye open on my situation just in case, you know, it's giving like a just in case. Or maybe you're used to having, you know, different people that you talk to as well, in fear that, hey, this doesn't work, but at least I have a backup plan type of deal. Yeah, the Nine of Pentacles came back again. This was also in pile number 1. So there might be additional messages in pile number 1 for you, pile number 2. So it's also giving an energy of maybe like an obsession with the material world. So maybe you've been overworking or overextending yourself. You could also have Capricorn placements too. And we also have Swords energy. So that's Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. And we have Cups energy. So Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. And we also have Pentacle energy. So that's Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. You may have a Chiron in these placements too as well. That may resonate too as well. But it's like maybe you were just kind of like thinking about the material world or obsessing about work, and you're thinking that, you know, having this connection would be a hindrance to your career or a hindrance to your growth. You could have like a very strong Earth placement in your Chiron, which is all about the material world. And, you know, Earth signs really value the material world strongly. So it could have been a situation like that where you felt like if you would have committed in a love connection, that you would have given away your power, which is like you not being able to pursue something in the material world or pursue a specific chapter of your career or your life that you also wanted as well. It's like you wanted to have, let's say, a family situation or to find true love, but maybe you're thinking that if you did that, you would have lost a part of your identity as a result. This is giving an energy too, where maybe like you wanted to be a parent, but you were afraid as well that being a parent meant that your life would end. Like you wouldn't be able to pursue the things that you had wanted to, because now you have a responsibility or a duty or obligation to someone else. But I feel that this person supports you, and I feel like they don't care that, you know, you want to still pursue other things. Like I feel like they just, you know, want to have a family unit, and so they're willing to support whatever is necessary to make you feel as comfortable as possible. This is someone who I feel like is very open-minded, because Gemini is usually pretty open-minded, right? They're able to actually go and, you know, speak to people, get different perspectives. they're very intellectual beings, right? So, you know, they're usually very sociable, right? So they like hearing different perspectives. They're also very witty too as well. So I feel like this person kind of gets you or understands where you're coming from. You could also be dealing with a Virgo, right? Where sometimes maybe they might be more logical mindset to say, well, you have a family now, so how can you really go off and manifest this new beginning, or, you know, go back to school or whatever it is you want to do. But I feel like they're starting to understand that this is just how you are. And so if they want the partnership to work, they have to support you as well too. It's like they're finally coming to a conclusion about that as well. So let's get your last piece of advice and let's close out this reading. So we have locomotion or octomotion. $55. So all about challenges and changes, man. You guys are making some new beginnings for yourself too. Or you will be very soon. So it says octopuses are known for their ability to swim with fluidity to conceal themselves as they crawl across the reef. If you are fortunate enough to see one, it is likely that you're doing the dance of octomotion, demonstrating graceful, flexible movement. They can pull their arms in tightly coiled spirals or stretch them beyond what seems possible. The mantle can take on a spiky appearance of seaweed or a bumpy texture of coral. The octopus is an 8-legged master of motion and flexibility. Octagon star geometry inlaid into this card embraces the power of 8 and speaks the resonance of a periodic renewal. This card asks you to examine how ideas and events are moving toward the subject of your inquiry. Are you in resonance with the flow? Are you engaging the situation with optimism, suppleness, and flexibility? If so, this card applauds the sincerity of your intentions. Or do you feel the need to camouflage your ideas and emotions by adapting yourself to what you believe is expected of you? There are many ways to move through a situation. The path of least resistance and flow is generally the easiest. Remember, however, not to be consistent, too rigid in the situation, or permit it to obscure your light. The worth of your voice will be made apparent as you recognize and honor your dedication to integrity and express your personal truth. Renew your intent to be flexible in body, mind, and spirit when respecting the truth at your core. So this is all about, again, listening to that inner voice and also being flexible, right? The Two of Pentacles speaks to balancing, right? So which is also being flexible, right? You have to be able to be flexible in order to balance, you know. So maybe that's it. You guys are going to be, let's say, moving into the energy of being a wife, and now you want to focus on your career too. Or you have a family now, and now, you know, you're in a situation where you feel like, oh my gosh, I have a family now. I want to focus on my career too. And maybe I want to also focus on other areas. I feel like this energy is just allowing you to be in the moment and to accept and embrace what is. It could even be a situation too as well where maybe you had a twin and you manifested a soulmate. And so now you're kind of like, well, what do I do about this? This is kind of not how I envisioned this was going to go. But I feel like either way, whatever the lunar eclipse coming up, there's going to be some sort of change. So that's March 24th to 25th. But however, all readings are timeless. 2024 is the time I'm recording this. So I feel like around that eclipse, some sort of clarity is also going to come to you, and some sort of change is going to happen for you as well. So that's like 3 weeks out, or yeah, about 3 weeks out from now. And that's interesting because that's pretty much Palm Sunday if you resonate with that. So it's around Easter time. I feel like something may change in your situation with you and this person, or just your perspective. So that's the message I have for you guys. Thank you so much for listening. If it resonates, you guys can feel free to comment down below, as well as you guys can subscribe to my channel. And if you'd like to book personal reads, you guys can email me, as I am not accepting any new, my website is, I'm done with my website for now. I'm going to be taking like a year off. So because of that, my website, I did not renew it for this year. So you guys can email me if you want to book a personal read, if this resonates with your situation. And as always, guys, love and light. Take care. Hey, my wonderful pile number 3s. So this is if you guys chose this pile. This is going to be your reading. So without further ado, we're going to be tapping in to see what is coming forward in regards to your love life. So what is your Chiron currently teaching you about love and relationships at this time? And how is this manifesting in your life? I will also give you some advice and recommendations in regards to how you may be able to shift the energy of the moment as well. So if this reading resonates, you guys can feel free to email me if you'd like to book personal reads, as I am not going to be renewing my website. I'm taking a year off. So because of that, I'm going to be posting very sporadically as time goes on too as well. So let us see what we get. So these are your advice cards. I'm going to be saving that for the end. So I'll put them over here in the corner. So they'll be with us for this read. Virgo has made an appearance in almost every friggin' reading, which is crazy. Virgo energy is like powering through the collective heavy at this time. So, all right. So what is the energy I'm feeling of for the moment in regards to your Chiron? So this goes back to how you were raised. There's something here about how you were raised. So maybe you are someone that for example, was not used to spirituality or spiritual development, or people that are psychic or readers. Maybe you were told they're witches, or they're just not really good people. Something about those lines I'm hearing very strongly for this. And it's like you might, let's say, have a counterpart or someone that is heavily involved in the spiritual community. And so, or maybe you yourself is involved in it, but there's a part of you that doesn't accept your gifts fully. It's like you might be someone who is intuitive, who is a reader, who is a psychic, or, you know, you just somehow have a very strong intuition, we'll just say. But maybe your family line does not necessarily always accept that. So you're people that I feel like are always protected, because I'm being shown 444. So you're always going to be divinely protected and divinely guided. But I feel that with this gift, you can actually make a lot of money doing this. But I feel like this is something that you might now be coming to the realization about. It's like you might be going through some sort of an awakening. Boy, I'm out of breath. You might be going through some sort of an awakening at this time. Or you might be like going through some sort of big life change where you're seeing things in a different light. Like I feel like the more that you get healthy, or the more that you focus on, let's say, preserving your life force energy, I feel like it's allowing you to gain more clarity or more perspective about your psychic ability or development. And I feel like this is also coming online with you coming to the realization that you may have a counterpart, or now realizing that everything is not necessarily how it seems. It's like I feel like you're focusing a lot more on your family life and your self-care, which is helping you tap into some energy of discernment, and you're starting to see your love life in a different perspective. This is giving a vibe of a person who might have been like non-committal for a very long time, but because they have recently gone through some sort of an awakening, they're realizing that the more that they love themselves or value themselves is the more that they can actually find that sense of happiness. This is also giving a vibe of ancestral karma, because sometimes as well, like we value our family, we value relationships, but it also can impede us with being able to manifest our true love, our true desires too as well. So I keep hearing your soulmate differs from your usual type. So for a lot of you guys, I feel like you're realizing that your soulmate, your twin flame, whatever you believe in, is someone that might not necessarily fit in with what your family expectations might have been. And it might not make practical sense either from a material world perspective, because this is Virgo energy. But from a point of view of your well-being and what actually works in regards to what you want for your life and your future, this person or this situation makes sense. It's like to family and friends, they don't really know how you were able to, let's say, manifest something that they didn't believe to be true. So I'm being shown like a Bible. So it could be some sort of spiritual idea. Like we know that like in the Bible, there isn't necessarily mentions of, they don't directly come out and say, oh, twin flame or whatever. But like we can see that through, let's say, Adam and Eve, right? Eve was literally made from Adam's bone, right? His rib. So she was basically a projection of what Adam was desiring. Yes, there's Lilith and whatnot too as well, but to keep it simple, we'll just talk about Adam and Eve. Eve was basically crafted in the image of God, but in the image of what Adam was actually desiring. A true counterpart, or someone that would be able to understand them. And she was someone that was very helpful for him in regards to being able to feel that sense of companionship. And I think that's something that your soul is now longing for in regards to love and relationships. And I think maybe for a while you were kind of angry with God or angry with yourself about this. I don't know why I'm hearing that. But you were kind of like, why me type of deal. Like, why did I have to get something or a situation or be with someone that the situation is complicated? For some of you guys, I'm hearing that you might have thought that, why did I meet this person at a time where I already had other commitments? That's what I'm also hearing too. But I think as time goes on, you're realizing that everything in your life is actually connected. So every person, everything, and every experience in some way is connected to us. So I feel like you're realizing that your inner world is actually a reflection of your outer world too. And it's like, for a long time, I think you might have been really critical about, other people, maybe focusing on, what other people couldn't do, or, how you wanted love to be. But I feel that the blindfolds are finally off. Like, you're seeing things clearly. I feel like you finally have realized that this is your person. How you're going to get them, or how you're going to make this relationship work, I think you're still trying to figure that out now. But it's something where there's an awareness. And I feel like you finally released some sort of expectation you had. Or needing an explanation for things. And it's like, I think you're realizing that the more that you spend time with this person, or the more that you think about them, is the more that you realize that you really love them. And you're becoming more grateful. This is giving an energy of gratitude, that you're actually becoming more grateful that you met this person in this lifetime. And I think this is also an awakening of you diving into your spirituality in order to feel more connected to that person. It's like that person, you love them so much, or you care for them so much, whether it be a twin flame, soulmate, or whatever you perceive this to be. You care for them so much that you want more about, like, you want to know more about them, that it's now allowing you to be more open to learning more about your spiritual gifts or your spirituality in regards to love. But this was something that you had to overcome, because I think for your family, like I know for myself, I'm Caribbean. So in the Caribbean, there are a lot of people that go against, like, me reading tarot cards, me doing this. If some of my family members knew about that, that would be something where they'd be like, what? Like, they'll be looking at me like, okay, like, this is not right. Like, and it could be a situation where maybe you grew up in some sort of family situation like that, where psychic work, spirituality, tarot cards, reader, this and that is not like, it could be just like people who are just strictly Christian, or strictly like whatever religion it is or faith that they believe in, and that's it. Like, they don't see outside of the box. But I feel like for you, because you've now unlocked some sort of gift, it's like you're being called to actually dive more into the esoteric part of yourself in order to feel this person's energy better. Like, I actually see someone, so maybe like you or them may have given each other gifts or exchanged some sort of gift. So maybe this person has been actually using that to meditate on your energy, or to feel you more deeply. Like, they're doing research. So if you're inquiring about someone, I feel like this person is doing research. And I feel like you're also researching this person too. Like, it's very funny. This is giving a vibe or energy where you guys are investigating this further. Like, but I feel like you've already done the research. So I feel like this person is investigating this further. I don't know why I'm laughing about this. It's not even funny, but it's just crazy. Like, this is giving an energy or vibe of like someone that might have been on the twin flame soulmate journey for a while and they didn't even realize that they were on a friggin' journey. It's like that kind of energy. Like, this person is now waking up to realize that there's something here that more than what meets the eye. Like, they're finally getting, like, I'm seeing they're finally integrating the clues. Like, whatever clues that you've been giving them, they're finally integrating it, and they're finally seeing the bigger picture of this situation. But now they're wondering, you know, is it too late? So their wounding is basically telling them, like, you know, stick to doing it the traditional way. Or maybe this is you that's like, stick to doing it the traditional way. This is feeling a vibe of maybe someone who is married, or it was in some sort of deep commitment, where now that they feel that they've realized that they love someone else, how can they get out of this? You know, it's like they've woken up to realize that. You know, that's like a deep epiphany. Like, this person had some sort of epiphany. It's like a realization. It's like, oh my gosh, I really love the viewer. Or maybe you realize that now, the viewer. You're like, oh my gosh, I really love this person. But it's like you... Oh my gosh. That kind of scared me. Spirit plays too much. So there's a shift in perspective. I'm also feeling like that sounded almost like a little bit of like a tower moment. It's like it was earth-shattering. Like, they realized the truth. You know? And now they realize that all this time you and them were connected and they didn't know. You know, they didn't know that you were really their person. But this awakening is really allowing this person to see the truth. And I feel like this is you too as well. So maybe you've had this epiphany. Maybe you were resistant about your twin or soulmate, and you kept thinking that they couldn't be the one, or it can't be them. It has to be someone else. It has to be this. But now you're realizing that no, no. Because I think maybe this is a situation too where maybe a lot of time has passed and your feelings have never died. They've only increased as time goes on. But maybe that person is now, like, this is giving an energy of like pile number 2, but like pile number 2 had like a soulmate. Like, it was feeling very much like a soulmate energy, but this is giving like, it could even be a karmic or even a twin flame for this reading here. It's like realizing what you had, you know? It's like realizing the truth of everything. But because they were maybe focusing on the material world, or maybe you had been focusing a lot on the material world and you're just detaching from the situation, you hadn't seen the clues or the signs that were there all this time that you and them were actually one and the same. It's giving more twin though. Like, you hadn't known that, you know, maybe like you read it, like I'm hearing you read it as a little boy or a little girl, whatever, non-gender binary. It's like you knew that there were opportunities for people to be counterparts, but you didn't actually think it would happen to you, or you just didn't perceive that it could be possible, like modern day twin flame, you know, like, or modern day soulmate. Like, you didn't actually think that this could have been real. So I feel like now you're researching the crap out of the situation, trying to, like, you know, how, like, you're nervous about this. Like, it's really bringing up a lot of fear for you, because you're like, what if I feel like you've gotten over the fact of what if you're wrong. Like, I feel like you know that there's no way, like, this has to be my person. There's no other way. That's the energy that I'm feeling. It's like realizing that this has to be my person. There's no other way. I see the truth clearly now, but how do I get them? Now they're with someone else. And how do I extricate myself from, let's say, a marriage that might have been even set up by family members, or family had advised you to go with this person, and now that the love is dying out in that situation, and now that you know that your person is really your person, how do you get them, you know? How do you alchemize the energy of the moment in order to shift it so that you can make changes? So I'm going to tell you just that. Let's pull some cards, actually. So how can you shift this energy? Because I feel like now that you've gotten this clarity, so you need to follow your purpose, your destiny. You know, I feel like you and them are destined. And it's crazy because pile number 2 also had like a destiny card. wonder if it's still here. Yes. This is the card they had for pile number 2. It's like that situation was meant to be, and I feel like this situation is meant to be too. So it's crazy. Like, I feel like maybe that situation, like the viewers had manifested someone else. Maybe they were like waiting for this person or this situation to shift, and they just kind of got tired. And so they just like manifested something else. And now that they manifested something else, it's like that's when the clarity has finally come to this person. How much you actually mean to them, or you realize now how much that person actually means to you. But this was a part of your wounding, right? This was a part of your chiron, really, because maybe you had been over analyzing or over critical about the situation. Like, you kept putting it off. You kept saying that it wasn't possible. You kept, you kept saying that it's too late. I've already built this. I can't. Because sometimes Virgo too, like once they've already had their mind made up on something, it's difficult for them to kind of shift it sometimes. Or they're just so focused on work, right? And that's probably also why we had here the entrepreneur. So maybe you have a business or something you had been focusing on in the material world for so long that you hadn't seen the signs. It's like it just kept, like every time you saw the person, you felt something was strange, but you just didn't know what. But it was really this. But because you were just only operating in that yang energy, you hadn't been able to see that you were going through, like every time that person saw you, or you saw them, or you guys communicated, it was like a heart awakening. This person was chipping at that coldness in your heart. It's like chipping it down. Or you had been chipping it down for them. Like either or may resonate. It's like you, like it just, and now the love has just taken over. Where you now just like, you daydream about them. You think about them. Some of you even journal about them. Some of you guys even just like any object or anything that they give, you might even look at their photos. This is like an obsession. Like the energy, it feels very obsessive. Or either you or them is really thinking about this now. Like I feel like this person really broke down your chiron. Like they really broke this down. Like they, and you're thinking, how did they get in? But then you're like, the only way that would have been possible for this person to really break down my belief system and whatnot, they have to be my counterpart. There's no way now. I feel like that's kind of the energy I'm feeling. All right, so let's get the last piece of advice. We have spiraling into love. I told you, like that obsessiveness and that love, no. It was too much. Like it's something where, no, it took over. Like it took over. I feel like you might even be thinking about a family with this person too, because we had a family here. So maybe you had a family elsewhere, but you might be thinking about having actually a family now, like something stable with them. Like you need to have a piece of that. Like I know that sounds crazy, or they need to have a piece of you. It's crazy because I feel like we're like reading, I'm channeling for like a counterpart, like counterparts, because I keep saying he or she or they, that like, it's like, it feels like the energy is like, no, this person wants a family now. Like they have to have a, now that they realize, okay, if this is really my counterpart, if we have kids together, like, would that be like truly like blessed kids, or like, it's something like that, like an obsession with that too. It's like, I have to get them pregnant. I have to have a family with them, or whatever. I got to build a business with them, whatever it is. Like they want to have some sort of legacy, right? Because the 4th house is also about like legacy too as well, like creating something that's tangible that can stand the test of time. So even after you and them are no longer here, that piece will still live on. It's like they feel like, let's say, having that child, right? Because the 4th house is also Cancer, right? And Cancer energy speaks to family, legacy, and whatnot too as well, right? Cancerian energy is all about family, relationships. So I feel very strongly they want like to mix the DNA. Like, I don't know. Or you might be thinking heavily about this. It's like wanting to mix that DNA so that there's a long-standing, like there's something here that no matter what, you guys are always connected. But I feel like in a way too, like it's just really their fear. But like I feel like they want that family. Like they want to have a family unit now. They're thinking heavily about it. Like, and even if you have kids from before, I feel like this person will accept the children, but they want their own specifically with you. Like it's something that they feel they must do before their time is up. Like they have to create something with you. It's like just to, you know, say, okay, I'm dead or whatever, but at least we have a child and that child will live on. Like the prophecy will keep. It's something about that. Like they're starting to do research about like, or maybe you started doing research like twin flame children or soulmate children. Like how does that, you know, how does that go type of deal? Something along those lines. Like I feel like you or this person is investigating. So we have spiraling into love, intimacy, and communication. The spiral helix of our DNA swirls around the sacred couple, right? And this is, I told you, it's like a twin flame. And the quickening communication of their intimacy. Human DNA helps us connect to the web of creation. It holds ancestral knowledge as well as a future potential in the vast library of information. Also swirling around the couple are spirals of possibility that have only to recognize in order to activate. As they experience both human sexuality and universal love, this information stimulates their consciousness, decision, and communicate with genuine intimacy. There are many styles of communication. Simple words may be effective for making a statement or providing instructions. However, when concepts and emotions enter the exchange, words often fail to convey the message intended. This card asks that you view the way you communicate. Do you speak from your heart with respect and sincerity? Do you truly listen to the people with whom you are speaking? Resolve to look into the eyes of the person with whom you are communicating and recognize the marvelous being that stands before you. Observe both your own and others' body language and feel their essence. Listen with discernment before you respond. Formulate your words as if they are prayers waiting to be shared. With gentle grace and positive intent, speak your truth in the most intimate way you are able to. So yeah, I told you, it's like this person might even be getting some telepathic communications from you where they're hearing your voice or they're smelling you. Something, it's like, it's getting, like as time is going on, like the energy is becoming more intense and it's like driving this person to, I'm hearing driving them to drink. So maybe they're just drinking and thinking about you and that activated it. They could have been smoking some weed or whatever and then boom, they just, you know, thought about you and it just activated something in them. I don't know. I'm hearing that it's your feminine energy, like something about you that, like I told you, like they want, like this person, so be careful because I feel they're making some plans, thinking about how, you know, and they want that specifically. So it says passion flower, appreciation awareness. Embedded within the image is a beautiful configuration known as the flower of life. It is made up of 19 interlocking circles that represent a lattice of pure life force. I told you that feminine energy is drawing them in. A brightly colored cardinal towards ginger and the center of passion flower call upon you to recognize and appreciate the perfection of nature and beauty that lies within you. Two hands cradle and dynamically energize this card. This is a prayer of appreciation and call to awareness. Gaze at the center of the informal pattern and the passion flower at its core. Allow this life force to activate an attitude of appreciation and fill your awareness with exactly what you need to know at this moment. Feel how that recognition affects your body, mind, and spirit. Appreciation is recognition of the divine nature of everything, including the direction of your life is taking at this time. Recognize the value of your chosen path. Become aware of your passion is flowering. Recognize the evolution of your visionary path and hold dear the feelings of what it is like to follow your bliss. So the more that I feel like you guys are following your heart, right, your passions, I feel like it's calling whatever counterpart in to you, whether that's a twin flame, a soulmate. You guys are connecting in the ethers. This person is getting the enlightenment, the awareness. You even have this here too as well, right? Birth, which is giving me like very much like an awakening or a death and rebirth process too as well. So it's like the more that you do your healing, I feel like it's drawing this person in closer and closer. They want you. And I feel like you want them too, but no, but this person, I feel like wants the viewer, like badly. Like mentally, physically, emotionally, I feel they want to test it out. Like they, you know, something about needing to test it out further. I don't know why, but it's like this person might be thinking like how they can, you know, test this further. You know, what can they do? You know, how can they build more of this relationship with you? you know, and so this person is going to be coming in very shortly for some sort of communication. You might hear from this person very soon. Very, very soon, is feeling like. So that's the message I have for you guys. If it resonates, comment down below. And as always, if you want to book personal reads, you guys can email me, as I'm not renewing my website for this year, as I'm actually going to be taking a year off. I might be posting here and there sporadically, but you guys can hit me up via email for reads. Also, don't forget to subscribe to your girl's channel and like and comment down below if it resonates with your situation. And as always, love and light. Take care.